To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Bored housewives, so they're generally hitting the Moscato too because they need something sweet in their lives because their husband is sour. That ring on your finger? Some pygmy died digging that out of a hole for you to say I do and ruin some guy's like, look at that dude. He's got a hernia that's shaped like a bag of pretzels that he just ate. You're going to Thailand, you're going to smash some dude. Going over there for guy time, but it's not with his buddies. What does it say on the bottle? Well, if it says that on the bottle, why did you put it on your head? All these actors did was shut their mouths because they didn't want to be run out of Hollywood. Now a bad batch of Chinese food has you blowing insurance premiums on vitamin fucking D.
Too much.
That's what we're
I
going
sound like
for
Bill
here.
Maher. Really, John?
Really?
We can't do this anymore, Auntie. I'll see you at the bar mitzvah. It's almost like it never existed, but it fucking did. So do me a favor. Go yourself. Jay here, PositiveSarcasm.com, recorded here from the sandbox. Like, subscribe. It's really not a sandbox right now. Right now, it's just a freaking snow mine. We got crushed this past day, and we're going to get like another rainstorm. It's just going to be an absolute shit show here. But whatever, there's some sand out there somewhere under the snow. In the meantime, you can like, subscribe, share, donate. PositiveSarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Find me, where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm, Facebook.com/POS sarcasm, or if you just want to be my friend, you can go to Facebook.com/positivesarcasm. You can find me on some of the other apps, YouTube, Positive Sarcasm Podcast, and of course the all new Positive Sarcasm Reactions, which, hey, you know what? We're closing in on 100 subscribers over there. It's pretty cool. I'm having fun. Make a couple of them a week. Trying out new music. Enjoying it. Just, you're having fun. The vast majority of people like to see me having fun. They like my attitude towards the music. And it just keeps growing. I respond to people. They recommend music. I go and look at it. And, we have a lot of fun. And it's a good time, and we just keep growing a little bit every single week. So, welcome to the new channel. I hope it adds some more flavor to this entire spare parts universe that I've been spending many, many years and quite a few hiatuses. Hiatuses? Is that a word? Building. So, yeah. Next week, I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Where's the Super Bowl this year? I don't even know where that's. Is that going to be in Atlanta? That's in Atlanta, right? Because we're going. Okay, so no, I'm taking off from Logan and landing directly in Fort Lauderdale, so I don't have to stop off in Hartsfield International. If you don't know what Hartsfield International is, it is the busiest airport in the world. It's the busiest airport in the world. Every time I've been there, it was, except for the exception of the last time, it was like the slowest airport I've ever been to. I remember taking off one time, and there was 3 planes in front of us taxiing, and 25 planes behind us taxiing. It was a shit show, absolute shit show. And they are the primary hub for Delta Airlines, one of the largest airlines in the United States. It's an international airport, and it's the way it's located is it can take in all the international flights from Europe, international flights from Africa. It takes in a lot of the international flights from South America, Central America. So, and of course, the entire United States. If you're making any connections from Texas or New York or the New England area or from Florida, and then of course everything else from the east, from the West Coast, it all just dumps into Hartsfield International, and it's freaking nuts. It's freaking nuts the amount of planes that go through there. So thankfully I don't have to take it. I'll be leaving Sunday, and I'll be coming back that Friday. So by the time you're listening to this podcast, I will basically be heading down to Logan Airport to head down to beautiful Florida. Now, what's cool is I don't really have to do much when I'm there. I basically am just landing at Fort Lauderdale, getting off the plane, and just heading straight to the grocery store, because my stipend allows me to do that. And I'm basically just going to go right to like Publix. And from there, maybe grab a coffee and head straight to the hotel after that. And what I'm doing, basically, I only have to walk. I don't have to take a cab. I don't have to rent a car. I don't have to do any of that. I basically, from Monday through Friday, I basically just have to walk 7 minutes in downtown Fort Lauderdale to where I have to go every day, and then 7 minutes back, which is amazing. There's so much more room for activities. I mean, don't get me wrong, Fort Lauderdale is, if I was to choose a town to live in first of all, in Florida, I don't want to live on the East Coast. East Coast? West Coast of Florida. It does nothing for me. Don't get me wrong, it's nice. It's nice, but I don't give a rat's ass about West Coast Florida, and I was born there. I don't care about Venice. I don't care about Punta Gorda unless fishing. Tampa does nothing for me. It just isn't for me. However, East Coast Florida, you have Miami. You have the beginning of the Everglades. You can go all the way down to Key West if you want, which I guess you would I don't know if you technically call that East Coast or West Coast. It starts the East Coast and then makes its way down to the West. I guess kind of the West Coast, but whatever. It's Key West. But on the East Coast, you get Miami. You have Fort Lauderdale, so if you need to fly somewhere, it is kind of convenient. You have Pompano Beach, Boca Raton. You have my favorite spot, Palm Beach. You have Delray Beach. You have Vero Beach. You have Hollywood, California. You also have West Palm as well. You have, and you go even farther north, you have Daytona Beach. So you're killing it over there. You're killing it. So pick a spot. And this is all basically, all these areas within 5 to 10 minutes of the ocean, some of them right on it. And you can walk there. You can scooter there. You can whatever. You can get around. That's what's great about Florida in a lot of places. If you just want to stay local, that you really don't have to do much. Fort Lauderdale is cool because you can kind of walk to most of the things that you need to do. But I'm going to basically be very low-key and just be chilling down there, making sure that what I'm down there to be doing, I am focused on. But, I mean, obviously, it's all bought and paid for, so I'm just focusing on that, taking care of that. Obviously, I won't next week's podcast. Well, there'll be this podcast I'm doing right now, but then I won't have one next week. And I also won't be able to do any reactions for next week either, which it sucks. I want to be able to continue to make content. Maybe if I get a chance while I'm down there to maybe shoot like a short vlog or something while I'm down there. But I'm going to be so preoccupied with the training and all that stuff for when I'm down there. I'm not going to really, I don't know if I'll be able to make enough time in order to make something that's of any value. Because when I've gone down the road with my concept, with my original channel in such a way where it's very concept oriented. It's very, it's deep. It's something, it's become something bigger than just going to events and shooting them. It's become something more than that. And maybe it should stay that way. And if you don't have something to shoot for that channel, then don't shoot it. Let the concept or the big moment come to you, or search for it, or figure out how to create it. But that's kind of where I am with that situation. Travel vlogs are cool though, because you can do those at any moment. You're traveling somewhere, you just get the camera out, you get your overall anything with a camera out, you put it all together and you start shooting. And the music and the sound ambiance, all that, when you put it together in the background of what you're doing, really will make the video so much better. It'll bring it to a whole new level. But with my luck, maybe Alex Jones is right about the 5G, and right on final approach, somebody will go to make a phone call, and the next thing you know, my my JetBlue flight just goes crashing right into the ground. I don't know. Maybe I should write up a quick little, in case of my untimely departure, all my shit and my best friend Chase goes to my sister, so that maybe I should have something like that in writing. It would probably be the best situation for me to do something like that. But I have to admit, Florida just, has really come out as a victor in this whole goddamn mess that has been the last couple of years. And you know what? I know they got problems, but then again, every place has problems. But they really have. I'm looking forward to seeing how much truth there is to everything that has been said about what is taking place in Florida, about how free is it. We're up here in New England, so we have a mixed bag of everything, to how Maine is thinking, to how New Hampshire's thinking, to how Massachusetts and Vermont are thinking. And they all think very differently. And a lot of us, our states, the people of those states will tend to occupy other states and kind of fuck with it, per se. People from New Hampshire generally don't move to Massachusetts, but people from Massachusetts tend to move to New Hampshire. And that's annoying. So that is something, and people from New Hampshire may move to Vermont, but most likely they'll just move to Maine, because they'll be like, well, fuck New Hampshire, because it's gotten all massy, so we're just going to go straight to rural Maine and just disappear. That's what people are doing. A lot of people are doing that. I'm just curious to see how much longer or how much more intense that theory proves to be true. But I am curious to see, because we're so far away from Florida. Who's to say we go down there and we're completely wrong? But we're gonna find out. I'm gonna find out in a few days, and I'll have something to. I'll definitely report back on what I see, at least from the Fort Lauderdale approach, because I don't know what the rest of the state is like. But I'm assuming that if Fort Lauderdale is this way, chances are the rest of Florida is that way. So, and it's cool that, like I said, I don't know. Where is the Super Bowl taking place? Let me go. Let's see. Super Bowl. I'm assuming what? Atlanta? Super Bowl. Let me see here. At Cincinnati? Paul Brown Stadium? Hold on a second here. Get your tickets. SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles? No. You have to be kidding me. Is this thing really taking place in Los Angeles? Ugh. That can't. Really? Yeah. It's taking place in LA. Oh my God. What are they saying about it? I don't even want to know. I have no idea. LA's now there's a shithole. God. So yeah, there is that. So thankfully, I won't have to deal with any of that traffic per se. Imagine if I went down to Florida and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, they're having a Super Bowl there. Oh Jesus. But no, that's not the case. So I'm not really paying attention to that. I did see some highlights about what the Bengals did, but first of all, congratulations to them. But I'm not really paying attention to that. To me, it's just distracting from what's really going on in the world right now. I saw the stuff with Whoopi Goldberg, with the stupid comments she made, but then again, she's on The View, so that's stupid comments is kind of a way of life over there. I don't really blame them for the stupid shit they say. I blame people for watching them. So whatever, they're going to say stupid shit, and guess what? There's plenty of people in the population that say stupid stuff all the time. So whatever. It's just more cancel culture stuff. I have been following the Rogan stuff. He hasn't put out anything this week. At the time that I'm saying this, Wednesday, at the time I'm saying this, he hasn't put out anything this entire week since the whole Neil Young opened his fucking stupid mouth and he's like, Spotify, blah, 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 misinformation. Let me take everything over to Amazon. All right, dude, whatever. Fucking see ya. It's dumb. It's dumb, but once again, it's another distraction. You know, I want to hear more content from Rogan. He hasn't put anything out this entire week. I want to hear some stuff. You know, I want to just him to move full flags forward. But I haven't heard anything else. He's been doing some shows and stuff like that. As far as like he was at the Vulcan, but I want to hear content. You know, that's one of the things I look up to him for. And his cancel shit. It's like cancel culture is canceling itself, and it's swallowing up everything. And it's I don't even know. I mean, Twitter needs to cancel itself. Twitter needs to go away. I'm just kind of tired of it all. I just want to listen to content, and I don't want to hear about this stupid shit. Because right now we're with everything going on, with all this like insanity that's taking place with cancel culture. There's two things that you really should be paying attention to, and number one is the stock market, and number two is the trucking thing is a big deal, the Ottawa convoy, because if you think about, let's kind of just veer over to that area for a second, because I've been getting articles sent to me about it. If you have thousands of trucks and thousands of people who ship goods and services all over the country, not just in Canada but in the United States, and they're not shipping goods, and it's thousands of trucks with routes all over North America not shipping goods and not shipping products at all, well, how's this stuff getting to the shelves? I haven't seen kale in fucking 2 months. So I do get a little concerned, because if products are not getting delivered, the price of stuff goes up, and then there's the price of that stuff, or that stuff is just not on the shelves at all. Now, as I've stated before, I've been to two shopping markets. I've been to shoe shopping centers in the past several weeks. And I shop all the time, in the morning and at night. And I'm seeing the vast majority of goods on the shelves. Organic blueberries, vegetables, fruits, meats, dairy. I'm seeing all of it on the shelves, And then I went to the other grocery store in the Lakes region. They were stocked up. If anything, they still had turkeys. Did I buy another one? Yeah, of course I did. It was fucking $8. How could I say no? I still got 3 turkeys and 1 full ham in the freezer. Why not? So I ended up buying, I think I bought like 2 or 3 hams. I had 2 full chickens too, also, that I'm crushing on them right now. Delicious. So, and I had this whole ham bone left over, and I was like, screw it. So I'm told Chase to lay down, put out a towel, and then I just whipped out this giant ham bone with all the fats and the trimmings on it, and just laid it out in front of him, and he just kind of fell down. He came over and just fell down on the ground. Did you do that for me? So with all the craziness, like my fridge and my freezer being completely full, and the grocery stores that I have been seeing completely full, the question is, when does that come to an end? There's products coming out of these farms, products coming out of these industrial factories, but who's there to pick them up? Who's there to deliver them? It's a question worth asking, and yeah, that can cause a lot of strain on the stock market. It can cause a lot of strain on companies that require these trucking companies to get the shit over to these places. And if that's not happening, it is fascinating how much power the truckers actually have, though. And I officially on the record as rooting for them. I do support what they're doing. I believe in why they're doing it. And I have absolutely no respect for the Prime Minister of Canada. I think he's just a fucking fuckboy. I have no respect for him. But like I said, it's another factor to take into place. It's like, when you look at the market right now, which is teeter-tottering on the brink of disaster, Kevin Pathrath has been talking about it. He was, if you don't know who he is, he's Meet Kevin on YouTube. And he's also been, he also ran for governor of California. And he went up against Larry Elder. And both of them had a legitimate chance of becoming governor. But there's just too many fucking stupid people in California. But he's definitely concerned. As a matter of fact, he sold, from what he says, he sold his entire portfolio. And he's definitely concerned about a significant bear a hard curve coming into this year's market, a lot of pain. And from everything that I see, I don't think it's clickbait. Like right now, the market kind of did okay today, and it did pretty good the past couple days. But I think these are just light futures, just trading up for some reason because of a hard dip. But when you factor in that people are still not going back to work, so bad jobs report, the price of inflation has continued to escalate and is getting worse. You have actual foreign tensions with Ukraine and Russia. That thing is still a thing. You still have problems over in Taiwan and China. You have other issues as far as like protests going on in Europe, although a lot of them have been subsiding. Like, for example, we talked about last week how Great Britain got rid of all of its mandates, how the Netherlands has gotten rid of, I believe, all of its mandates. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Denmark said, fuck it, we're done with COVID completely. Let's go live our lives. And now then the other countries are still protesting. You know, that's what France does. The price of butter has gone up. We must riot. So the thing is, with all this stuff going on, people not wanting to go back to work, the price of shit going up. What do you think when the price of stuff going up? Okay, so we're not going to go out, or we can't afford to do all this other stuff. We have to focus our money on, you know, amenities, the things that we actually need, you know, like food, water, gas, electric, you know, paying our bills. We need the money because the price has gone up for everything. So we're not going out for pizza this week or what have you, or we're not buying ice cream or something like that. And that can cause a chain reaction, because then all of a sudden, you know, profits are down with these companies, and then whatever else they happen to sell. And then you also have people like, you know, honey, we have this house. And some of this stuff I'm just sort of like ranting or, you know, theorizing about, but it has truth in it, where it's like, honey, we have this house and things have gotten kind of expensive here. Maybe we should consider downsizing. Now, where do they decide to downsize? So do they leave the market that they're currently in, or do they stay in it and maybe just downsize a little bit? Either way, it's still considering selling a house. And there's more houses coming up on the market in our area. Absolutely. Vermont has a lot of houses for sale. New Hampshire has, oddly enough, more houses are coming up for sale each and every day. And then you have the idea of rates going up. Now, are rates going up a good thing? Yes, it slows down borrowing. It kind of evens out the market. But when markets went up in 2018, and the market had an adverse reaction, so it can cause prices to drop. And when you slow down borrowing, depending upon how much people were actually borrowing to begin with. So how much borrowing was going on when we brought rates near zero? Well, how much is it going to come to? Is borrowing going to slow down? The big companies going to slow down borrowing, or is it going to come to a screeching halt? And remember, when rates went up in the 2006, 2007, 2008, I mean, that the market was crippled. Now, there was an outlying factor in subprime mortgages and the amount of defaults that were taking place. That's supposedly not happening this time. But what other factors are going to cause this thing to slide out? Now, you can have things like margin calls. So if you have margin calls, that's basically the stock market's way of saying, hey, time's up. Where's my money? I don't have it. Oh, you don't? Well, guess what's going to happen to you? So if a lot of margin calls start happening because people are cleaning up their books and they're saying, you know what, these assets are actually only worth X. And, well, you have invested Y. Well, shit, I better go get my money because chances are this market's going to tank. So one person goes and gets their money, and then the fear starts to set in, and the next thing you know, everybody's running for the exit, and the market just goes. Next thing you know, the stock market circuit breakers, there's 3 of them. There's like a 15-minute one, an hour-long one, or I think a 30-minute one, and then there's one that just shuts down the market for the entire day. There's that one to take into consideration. And circuit breakers are a good thing, but it's also a sign of significant fear, which is a bad thing. So when the circuit breakers go off, it's fucking bad news. And a lot of other things can take into account. You know, our president's half dead. The president the prime minister in France is a dumbass. The one in Britain is a dumbass. The one in Australia is a dumbass. The one in Canada is a dumbass. So we got a lot of dumbasses running around pretending like they're actually running the country when in fact they're not. We're printing way too much fucking money. We've got way too many other factors, such as inflation, such as a bad jobs report, consumer price index, tensions in Russia, tensions in fucking in Taiwan, overall tensions in the United States when it comes to what states are doing what, the idea about COVID, that whole narrative, the trucking issue. It's how many other factors do you need until things just start to, until things have a significant correction? I see it. I think the market is starting to run out of gas. You can't just have 0% rates forever. You eventually have to stop some type of bleeding, but are you going to stop the bleeding by cutting another part of the body? I don't know. But I do think it's like nobody wants to go back to work. The whole mandate thing was significant, and a lot of those reports have not come out yet. So I'm wondering, it's like, when is it going to happen? But I see it already starting to happen. I'm watching the curve in the market, and we've had a short recovery, but the question is, right now we're kind of in like that, not the doldrums, but in like purgatory waiting game in February. How long? February is a short month, so we tanked at the end of January. Now we're coming into February. It was kind of a good couple days because rates are generally good for REITs, mortgage, real estate income trusts. But if there's too many bad factors in the market, there's too many bad actors in the market, it doesn't matter if that's actually good for the economy. Shit can still tank. And if shit tanks, well, that's going to affect people's 401ks, people's investment going forward. Crypto is now also a significant factor this time around in the stock market. And crypto has, a lot of the major cryptos have lost about 30 to 40% of their top value. They've come back down to earth. A lot of the smaller cryptos, Doge and Shiba Inu and, I don't know, fucking Doja Cat, shipping or whatever, they've all taken significant beatings. That's people's money. So how is this going to play out? With all this stuff going on, how is it going to play out? Because at the end of the day, you do want to be able to make decisions that are in yourself and your family's best behalf. And you want to make sure you're not following these other distractions, like Rogan, like Whoopi Goldberg, like the convoy, even though the convoy is an actual factor. These things some of them don't really have, they're there, but at the end of the day, they are distracting. They are celebrity topics that you can maybe weigh, if you're a podcaster or a person who does want to weigh in on them, you can. But how much actual weight does it have when it comes to the actual market and you trying to secure your future for yourself? Now, is there opportunities to make money when there's blood in the streets? Absolutely. You can make money and start and invest in the things you want to make money before the first shot's even fired. I've discussed it in the past too. But yeah, you can bet against the market. And right now, it's looking like a good time to do so again. I made some money a few weeks back because I was betting against the market. I did it twice, and I was right twice. And I also just went almost completely cash at this point because I am seeing significant red flags. Like, we had a huge breakout year in 2021 and at the end of 2020 all the way through 2021. But what was it based on? What's the truth about all of it? Was it just free money getting thrown into the market at a borrowing rate of near zero? And now and everything was so accelerated? Maybe things are coming back down to earth. Maybe the party's over. And you need to be cognizant of that. And you need to be prepared for it. And now, how can you be prepared for it? A bug out bag, loose cash, and an ability to be like, okay, if the market's do I think the market's gonna open up because for rent, for real estate? For real estate, I don't know. Not yet. For rent, yes, I think so. Because we're coming into a situation where school's gonna be out in April/May. So you're gonna have all these private dorms and additional towns, surrounding towns that had college kids staying there. They're going to be getting out. Their leases are going to be up. And you just have also the following people maybe switching jobs, switching careers, going back to work, working from home, moving, blah, blah, blah. In the area around April, May, their leases are going to be up. Maybe they're moving out somewhere. Maybe they're going somewhere else. So you're going to be adding that on top of it. So there's going to be availability for things. You just have to keep an eye on it. Like I said, if you focus on something long enough, you're going to see the openings that allow you to succeed. And that's how I got this place. And I'll be making another move coming up early in a few months. But these things you focus on, and eventually you start to see the patterns that are laid out in front of you. Now, how is that going to factor into the market this year? Well, obviously, if there's availabilities, there's not enough people to fill them, or if the market tanks for some reason and people can't afford these places, or I don't know. There's so many what ifs. There's so many red flags. So what's going to be that one catalyst, that one assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand that puts us into crisis mode? Now, is everybody going to be in crisis mode? No. There's always amount of people that see the opportunities. And it is, at the end of the day, one person's dilemma is another person's opportunity to take advantage of the situation and come out on top and come out significantly ahead. So you have to focus on these things, because just sitting around and watching Netflix is not going to get you anywhere. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. And yeah, spending is up. Don't get me wrong. I've been a little bit of a spender when it comes to like maybe buying some new clothes for whatever reason, or making sure that my groceries are well taken care of, making sure that Chase has all the stuff he needs so that his tummy's full and his heart is full. Right, buddy? Yeah. So, but the only thing I've been doing when it comes to spending and, you know, being a consumer of goods is making sure that I'm staying true to the pledge that I made to you guys and to myself, that if I'm going to buy, I'm not going to buy from these countries that I have stated earlier. The countries that have maybe, you know, pushed for mandates or lockdowns or are just shitty countries. So like countries that I are places that I listed as boycotting: Australia, Germany, Britain, Austria, China, Canada, Italy, Indonesia, France, Greece, California, New York City, Illinois, and Boston. Now, who am I taking off this list? Actually, I'm taking off Britain. Because Britain basically ditched all their mandates because their freaking prime minister got caught with his pants down. Now, the other places like Australia, Australia I still got beef with. Germany, they have huge protests going on right now, so I'm not consuming any shit from them. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I got new threads and stuff. Now, I even looked at the socks. I'm like, all right, were the socks made in China? Okay. I was looking at Van Heusen. All their socks are made in China. I'm like, great. But I looked at Hanes and I was like, all right, where are these for? I might as well look. El Salvador? Sign me up. So, bought some new socks, El Salvador. Grabbed some new clothes. I'm like, where were these made? Bangladesh. It's not China. Might as well. So, these are things that you can do. It's just take a few minutes out of your shopping to make sure that what you're looking at is made in places that you don't have problems with. And you know what? It makes your wardrobe interesting for sure, that you know that when you're buying shit, it's not from a place that kills Uyghurs. So that makes me feel better. And all the other places that I named, it's like, they can kick rocks for now. So I'm not going to support that shit in any way, shape, or form. But these are all considerations to take into account when watching the shit show that is the stock market, the shit show that is the state of the world, and how do you plan for things going south? And that's my things these are the things I've been focusing on, making sure that I have enough money if I need to go somewhere or do something, and planning my next angle of attack and making sure I have enough gear, making sure that we're protected, all these things that I've been focusing on. And I do now, in conclusion on this part, I do think there's a huge correction coming. Huge correction, a downward slope in the stock market, because I don't see prices going down anytime soon for any reason. We're still fucking low on supply of a lot of different things that are slowing down delivery time, which is causing prices to go up because the demand's through the freaking roof. I just still see that as a massive issue. And with the raising of interest rates coming, most likely in March, I think that's going to put more pain on the market. And then there's going to be other factors like people not wanting to go back to work, and the CPI index just continuing to escalate. These are things that throw in a couple, humanitarian crises, some boycotts, and some whatever else you can think of, and poof, eventually the levee breaks and the flood occurs, and what the hell happens next after that? I don't know, but all you can do is focus on taking care of yourself. So we're at 35 minutes. Let's go ahead and close up shop with some Q&A. Like I said, the Rogan thing, I hope he's coming back to do more content, because I love his content. I love that he brings us a lot of information, and I love his guests are very interesting. So I want to see more shit from him. The View, the Goldberg, don't fucking care. It's not something I watch. I don't find her to be an intelligent person, but I just don't give a shit beyond that at all. So what I do give a shit about, though, is Q&A, because I didn't do Q&A last week. So I want to finish up with some strong ones, and then we'll get out of here for this week, and then I am off to FLA. By the way, if you want to support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. I saw that there was a couple nurses who were arrested in New York for selling like 1.5 million. I think was it 1.5 million vaccine cards, just like selling them like, streetwise. So you're telling me that there's 1.5 million people that are just using vax cards, maybe not even vaccinated, just to go throughout New York City. Good luck with that. They say you're 95% vaccinated. Well, apparently not, because that's half the population of Manhattan. Anyways, am I a jerk for asking my girlfriend not to wear a, quote, gay rat wedding themed dress to my friend's wedding? My girlfriend has a very particular sense of style. Picture Harley Finkel from Wizards of Waverly Place. Never seen it, so I'm not going to get the idea. Don't get me wrong, I never had a problem with that. In fact, I love the way she dresses because she loves to do so, and I'm happy if she's happy. The thing is, sometimes she likes to incorporate memes into her clothes. No problem, it's cute, but now she wants to wear a dress inspired on the meme gay rat wedding to my friend's wedding. He and his fiance are gay. I told her maybe that is not really appropriate. To the dress in question would be full of little stuffed rats, pride flags, and support, and a big "I support gay rats" on the front. My friend is not a big fan of the way my girlfriend dresses, and I think this dress may cause a certain uproar in the wedding. Now Nat is upset with me, claiming that I'm throwing water in her flame of creativity. The wedding's next month, so she has plenty of time to think about another thing to wear. Should I just let her go with the dress? Well, I mean, look, the wedding is not about the wedding. I've stated before, and I still believe in this. The wedding is never about the party. The wedding is always about the bride and groom. That's it. The two people committing to a long-term relationship with one another are the ones who have the say on everything in the wedding. So if they have a problem with one of the guests, then the actual guest has to concede to the people who are actually getting married. I think that's just customary. I think that's traditional. I'm of that mindset. So I think it's very black and white in this scenario where this woman needs to be like, yo, these two people are getting married. I need to support them, and I need to dress to their request. And I think that's as simple as that. Let's move on to the next one. Should I tell my employee I know she's been bad-mouthing me since she found out I'm giving a baby a name she likes? My wife is 12 weeks pregnant with our first child. We just made her pregnancy public to everyone. I manage a staff of 9. One of them is upset because she heard me answer another staff member's question about whether we have chosen a name. We have chosen a name that we can be either given to a boy or a girl or has significance to both of our families. My staff member is upset because she wants to use the same name when she has kids. She is not currently pregnant and said there are no immediate plans for kids in the future. Even if she were pregnant, I don't see why using the name means she can't. Ever since she heard me answer the question, she's been cold and huffy towards me. She won't talk to me unless she has no other choice. Let me pop these up on the screen. Sorry. I don't remember people on the Rumbles and on the YouTubes. She's currently if she were pregnant, I don't see why you can't use the name. Ever since she heard me answer the question, she's been cold and huffy towards me. She won't talk to me unless she has no other choice. And some of my other staff came to me because she's telling everyone who works here what a bad boss I am. However, she continues to complete all her work properly, be professional and warm to clients, arrive on time, etc. I don't know if I can or should do anything because her work is up to par. The name won't change, so I'm not sure how to address this with my staff member. Well, if there's no problem with her work performance, I guess just leave it alone. She doesn't like you. All right. A lot of people don't like me. So, who gives a shit? So I would just kind of be like, all right, well, as long as we're still doing the job as a company, everything's getting accomplished, then whatever. I'll play the heel, if you want to call it that. Now, if it does kill work morale with other people and they start to bring it up, then pull the trigger on it and be like, yo, girl, what the fuck? Until then, I just leave it as status quo. As long as work morale does not suffer, you just continue on with your day. And good luck with your pregnancy, by the way. Go on to the next one. How do I survive visits with a daughter-in-law who never cooks or cleans? What do you do if you don't like your daughter-in-law? Mine is a self-absorbed slob. As for an example, she once made a comment laughingly that she never dusts, which is true. She never cleans. They live about a 4-hour drive from me, and I love my grandchildren, so I try to visit the weekend maybe once every 4 or 5 weeks. They live in an apartment and they have bugs. Yuck. And when I do visit, she never cooks, never even suggests what she makes for dinner. I spend a fortune on takeout or else take up all the food for us and do the cooking myself. I might even have kind of an attitude that she never thanks me for anything. One of the few positive things I could say is that my granddaughters and daughters love her. I love her for that reason, but I just don't like her. And I feel like not visiting, but that would hurt the rest of the family. Can you say anything to help me get through the rest of my life? Well, okay. She's self-absorbed, but the granddaughters and daughters love her. Well, it's not your home. It's not your problem. So, what are we doing here? They live in an apartment. They have bugs. Okay. When I do visit, she never cooks. All right. Whatever. So, make what do you call it? Try to figure something out for that. Okay. Order out. I don't know what to tell you. She never cleans. Okay. Now, the few positive things I could say is granddaughters and daughters love her. Okay. There you go. She's a kinder attitude. I might even have a kinder attitude, but she never even thanks me for anything. Okay. Well, I don't know. It sounds like there's more to this than what's being said. But yeah, if she is a slob and everything like that, that's not something you're going to change. I have to be honest with you. It's not something you're going to change. However, it might be brought up in time, but if the granddaughters and the daughters love her, it's not a battle you'd want to take up. So you may just kind of want to figure out ways to work around this and call it a day. Do another one. How can I convince my wife not to grill our busy adult daughter about where she keeps random gifts and heirlooms? Oh boy. Our daughter, son-in-law, and grandchildren live in another part of the country, so we are only able to see them a few times a year. On our most recent visit, my wife asked my daughter where she kept some of the nice, expensive gifts they had been given to them by friends of ours. My daughter wasn't sure, pointing out that they have a large house and the wedding gifts, though nice, are not something they use with 5 young children. She wasn't sure where they were. Next thing you know, my wife has disappeared to hunt for the wedding gifts when I find her. She was unpacking boxes in another part of the house looking for them. Why more important than helping with the grandchildren and enjoying time with the family? I don't know. I know I would not be happy if anybody, and again, looking through blah, blah, blah. I hope she let the matter drop. Instead, the next day, she quizzed my daughter about, okay. My wife maintains she has a right to see the wedding gifts and heirlooms connection to them. Okay. This is some annoying grandparent shit. This is stuff that can't happen. So, yeah, you know what? Sometimes you buy gifts for people and it just doesn't pan out. It's not something, it's on you. You bought a gift that, although probably nice, is not really set up to be displayed or used, or I don't know. It's not its time to shine. So you don't display everything. You kind of keep it safe and hidden. They're just gifts. Not every gift I give is a knockout. You just do the best you can, and you keep it simple, and they appreciate that you were thinking of them, and that's about it. But you shouldn't be rooting around somebody's house for stuff that they don't want displayed or they just packed away for some reason. It's like, who gives a shit? The fact that you're looking for these things to want to know where they are, it's like, I mean, if they're that important to family heirlooms, then it would have been understood they would have been on display. But in this case, I'm not so sure. So I think there's a real problem with your wife. And I think that's right there. And you as the husband needs to kind of, you're the other person in this relationship, step your game up. Let's do one more. Let's see. Is it a red flag when your boyfriend exchanges birthday and Christmas presents with his best friend? I started dating somebody about 4 months ago, and things have been going great. I knew from the beginning he had a female best friend and was comfortable with this. And I was comfortable, okay. But I keep learning new information that makes me uncomfortable. The most recent was that they exchange both Christmas and birthday gifts every year. I understand that sentiment when you are 20 years old, but as you grow, your relationship changes. Your priority should now be your romantic relationship and your family. Okay? He is a partner. I feel it is his responsibility to celebrate these things with her. Okay? I understand celebrating milestones and achievements, but the necessary gift giving multiple times a year seems way too intimate for just friends. Argument made. My boyfriend has said she always initiates it, and he only sends gifts back because he doesn't like getting gifts and not returning them. It's my opinion that she has feelings for him. Well, a relationship is a voluntary thing. So you made a choice to be in a relationship. He made a choice to be in a relationship. He obviously has friends outside of there. Now, granted, could they have a past? It's possible. Now, the whole having a female friend thing, well, would they have dated? Is she trying to date him? Does she like you? That's the thing. He chose you, not her. He's dating you and not her. So the question is, how does she treat you? So another question is, how do you treat her? You can give gifts. I know it's a complicated thing, but if you don't have a reason, there's no reason not to trust her. If he screws up, then he screws up and the relationship's over. You end it and you move on. But if you are just uncomfortable and you can't get around the fact that there are two people that do exchange gifts, then it might be your thing to just have to get out of it and call it a day because you just can't handle it. Now, I could totally understand where you're coming from as far as, okay, the especially coming from me, where there may be something going on the side. But he chose you, and you have to respect who his friends are, and that's it, and not be upset about it, and for God's sakes, not make it a bigger deal than it is, because you have no evidence. You have no evidence to go on. So the thing is I had evidence, legitimate evidence, and it turned out to be true. You don't have any evidence. You just have two people who have respect for one another giving each other gifts. And yet they chose you. So you have no evidence. Therefore, you have no reason not to trust this person. And until they give you a reason, this is not a reason. You need to respect it and continue on with the relationship. And if it is going great, try to keep that going. Okay? Try to keep that going. That's my thoughts on the situation here. No, don't get me wrong. You're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna fuck it up. Things are gonna fall apart, and that's gonna be that. I'm just saying, if you did have a brain in your head, you'd not. But you're gonna screw it up. You're gonna say something that's gonna piss him off, and she's gonna come swooping in for the kill, and that's gonna be that, and you're gonna be alone again. That's how it's gonna go. I mean, in a perfect world, there'd be some sense talked into you, but it's not gonna happen. You're gonna screw it up. This is gonna fall apart, and he's gonna blame you for it, and he's gonna have every reason to. So, good luck. We are at about 50 minutes. I'm gonna close up shop for this week, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for my my flight. I'd like to thank you guys for listening, watching, and subscribing, and all my people on my new channels. If you have questions, concerns, comments, you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Client work, video work, audio work, you can always email me directly. You can also hit me up through my website in the contact section. There's also the affiliate links that are in that contact section. If you're looking to get some free stocks, go ahead and do so with the Webull app. That support is easy. positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. But in the meantime, hoping to hear from Rogan again. Want more podcasts? Come on, get on it. Let's go. Spotify didn't pay you $100 million just to have nothing going on this week. I want more content, Rogan. Bring it. But in the meantime, thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. And I'll talk to you all when I get back from Florida. Okay? Recorded here from the sandbox. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.